All right, another public company we're watching closely. We're tracking shares of Verizon following this morning's earnings report. Brad, you had a chance to catch up with CEO Hans Vestberg. The company stock, I think, getting dinged another weak quarter for subscriber additions. But what did Hans have to tell you?
Yeah, there was a lot that really took place in this quarter. I mean, of course, the subscriber additions, one thing. You also look at the number of investments that they're making as well right now. $22 billion is what they've earmarked to go towards some of their network infrastructure upgrades. And here's what Hans had to say about the quarter, especially considering the way that the stock was reacting earlier prior to the bell this morning and right after the report dropped.
I think we came out from the second quarter. We had some softness in our consumer business, especially on the wireless. So we took a lot of actions in the second quarter, especially around new plans, new products, but also did some price adjustments. And coming into the third quarter now reporting that, we can see some of that is really getting good effect. I mean, we're growing 10% of our wireless revenue. Our EBITDA grew 3%, almost 3% to $12.2 billion. So definitely the programs we put in place was actually working, but it's a lot more to do. We're a large company, and we need to continue the hard work we're doing right now to continue to do the great cash generation we're doing.
So clearly here, even as revenue may be growing to the tune of 10%, as he was mentioning, it still comes back to where the margin compression is coming in. And that's really on some of the CapEx that's going back into where the company can build up its network. But this is still an expensive business. Think about your phone connection right now as a luxury. When you travel, what do you lean on? You lean on your phone connection. When you're consuming all of this content on the device that you deal with from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep at night, that is your connection. And so for Verizon, for AT&T, for T-Mobile, all of them are going to have to figure out a way to not just appeal to and appease net new customers, but on the base that they have right now, how do you ensure that your service is far more superior and that it is actually valuable so much so to the consumer that they're going to take the price increases as well?
We had a brief chat on pricing. You made a good point, Brad. Like, this is, for right now, Verizon did take recent price increases, and you saw that weakness in subscribers as a result. But for whatever reason, AT&T and T-Mobile, most especially, are viewed by consumers, I think, as just cheaper options. Right. Whatever that is, that's how they're being viewed in the market right now. We just talked to AT&T the other day. Positive reaction in their stock price to better than expected phone additions. You have T-Mobile now. That stock is barely down here in the pre-market, likely under the assumption a bad quarter for Verizon on subscriber growth likely means continued market share gains for T-Mobile. And when they report, perhaps they report somewhat of a better than expected quarter like they have been doing.
Yeah, I think across a lot of the network and infrastructural changes that are being made too, the question is, when is the consumer actually going to see the result of that? When are we actually going to feel in our connection, like, wow, that's lightning quick? Or on the other side, because they do operate, of course, not just the wireless business, but you've also got the internet connectivity business too. And that is going to be an interesting one to see how many new additions continue to come on, because there's another component of the housing market right now. And if you continue to see kind of a slowdown in that, or even if you are to see some type of prop up in rental, even though prices are skyrocketing right now for rental or sustained higher, there's a question of where you would actually see those net new additions. And I think for Verizon, what they're doing is leaning further into some of those business partnerships where they're bringing some of the consumers, or at least bringing some of the return to office plans back into the fold. And that means amping up the services that you require there too.
I just want my bill and your bill to go down, Brad.
That's all I want.
We deserve it. Like, these bills keep going up. I think I paid $140 for my phone. I don't even know what I'm getting.
I want to be paying that.
Yeah,
I know really? I'm paying more than
you're
that.
Definitely paying more.
Yeah. What's in your data plan, everybody? Forget what's in your wallet. What's in your data plan? We've got the full interview with Verizon CEO Hans Vestberg. That's coming up later on today, 10:30 a.m. Stick with us. Myself, Brian Sozzi. We will air that for you live.